The National Guard has a mission most folks don't know about, giving high school dropouts second chances. 80% of those who attend the Guard's Youth Challenge Academies go on to college or a job. Michelle Miller checked out an academy near Los Angeles.
Let's go! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Hurry up! Get up out of your bus! Let's go! Get up! Get up!
This 4 a.m. wake-up call is like none these teenagers have ever heard.
Why are you just standing around?
It's called Shark Attack.
You better hurry up! Let's go! Stop moving around! Toe the line! Toe the line!
Day one for these 16 to 18-year-old high school dropouts.
Today is going to be a long day.
It's designed to set the tone, establish structure,
Keep pushing, explode all that anger out of you right now, cadets.
and let these rebellious teens know who's in charge.
You don't listen to authority. That's why you're here. Jumping jacks, go!
Angel Kayla Master, Jeremy Caesar, Krista Hopkins, Adjike Stewart, and 212 other students in this class have abused drugs, joined gangs, and are desperate for help. If you listen to their stories, you may understand why.
Make it happen!
Me and my mom were homeless pretty much, sleeping in cars, underneath freeways, in hotels. I was always on my own, couch hopping my entire teenage life. It caused me to drop out.
I feel like the day I turned 13, I decided to become a careless teenager, and the day I turned 14, I became a delinquent. I got into 7 fights my freshman year and then 3 fights my sophomore year, and I was like on the thin line of being arrested and expelled at the same time.
Let's go! Jump up!
When someone tells you something so many times, you start to believe it. They always say that, like, sticks and stones don't break your bones, but words will never hurt you. It's so not true. Words hurt more than anything, especially by someone you love.
I want to make my dad proud. He hasn't been in my life. It sounds backwards, but I want to make him proud of the young lady he never took the time to learn.
All right, this is your papers. You need to be responsible for it. Mom doesn't hold it anymore, okay?
Their last chance at a second chance began in July, dropped off by parents or guardians, sometimes a friend or neighbor. Each of them has volunteered to be here. Saying goodbye wasn't easy for 16-year-old Francisco Lazo's mother, Cynthia.
Oh, it breaks my heart, but it's for the best. I'm sure he'll come out a different person. I mean, he's a great kid. He just needs help.
It was really tough. It's hard to say goodbye. I didn't really see it as a sad goodbye. I saw it more as a good goodbye. Like, there were tears of joy.
Next candidate, what's your last name?
They are split up into platoons, 2 male, 2 female.
All you got to do is what?
Breathe, Sergeant, breathe!
That's it. All you got to do is breathe. We are going to think for you.
For the next 5.5 months, they will be told when to eat, sleep, and go to school. No access to social media, television, or contact with the outside world.
We will make you faster. Let's go. Pick those knees up. We will make you stronger.
You have not reached your limit yet. Keep on pushing. Keep on pushing, cadet. Get up. Get up.
We will make you healthier and wiser than you have ever been in your lives.
If you're going to do something, how are you going to do it? The right way or the wrong way?
The right way, Sergeant.
There you go.
We will help you earn the credits you need to succeed and graduate from high school. Most importantly, we will give you the skills necessary to go out there and get a job so that you can take care of yourselves.
Yes, Sergeant!
This is hardcore. If I could do this, then I can leave here and I can get what I need to get done. That's going to be the most amazing feeling, knowing that I can actually do this.
We end tonight with high school dropouts trying to get their lives back on track in a grueling program designed to provide second chances. It's run by the National Guard at academies all around the country, and Michelle Miller's been following cadets near Los Angeles. Tonight, she tells us how they're doing 2 weeks in.
17-year-old Adjike Stewart has been standing on this platform for 10 minutes.
I can't reach that pole.
You can do it.
She climbed 3 stories high to leap to a crossbar a few feet away. It's part of an exercise to build trust and self-esteem, and is one of the reasons she's here.
Come on!
Sergeant Edwards, I can't!
Her hesitation mirrored her hesitation in life.
I allowed drugs and alcohol abuse to kind of take over my life. But before I realized all that, I made a really brash decision to try and end my life. That was kind of the turning point, kind of the climax of the story where it could go either way.
But on this day, she took a leap of faith.
There you go, there you go. Good job. You got off it, you got off it.
The tears suggest she gained much more than confidence on the way down.
So it was in you this whole entire time. Good job. I'm proud of you, kiddo. Good job.
Come on, you got this.
But it wasn't just about one person. For all of the kids on this confidence course, it was about the value of teamwork, of someone believing in you.
You're doing good, man. You're fine.
And for 16-year-old Parker Coker, it was about discovering why his life went wrong.
You gotta look ahead, and it's not really easy to look ahead when you don't know how to, when nobody's really taught you how to.
At this time, you tell me why you don't have your socks on. Oh, because my socks are stuck.
When 17-year-old Marissa Stowe arrived here, she lagged behind her classmates in drive and focus.
So you're gonna break up into teams.
She's also a year behind in school, but that's starting to change.
I got my first A, and then I got another A+ in the next class, and I was like, I used to get F's at school. I just went to sleep when I did go to class.
Attention!
The first 2 weeks at Sunburst end in what's called a red phase ceremony. It marks a turning point in the program.
First platoon ain't nothing to mess with. First platoon ain't nothing to mess with.
The students are now called cadets.
Motivated, dedicated, this is how it's done.
They've replaced the black t-shirts and gray sweatshorts with firmly pressed uniforms and spit-shine boots.
Walk back! Walk back!
The 54 cadet platoons are also given monikers like Wolfpack and Panthers.
Panthers in! Right here, right here! Panthers in! Right here, right here!
Hip hop, lollipop, let me hear my Panthers rock. You're not gonna quit it yourself, you understand me?
Yes, I did.
Stay motivated!
Like all the cadets, Edward Tucker has had to dig deep to keep going.
Get up! Get up!
He says he used to let his gang member friends motivate him.
Feet, jump the jack.
Now he looks to someone else.
I have a picture of my little brother, 2 years old. I think about him, how I can change and just be a better me so he can see that. And then maybe he'll just follow in my footsteps.
And several viewers have asked whether this academy is a way to recruit for the military. The answer is no. Only 7% of graduates join the military. About 80% continue their education or get a job. And Scott, in our next segment, the parents of these cadets will get to see their young people for the first time since they dropped them off in July.
And Michelle, you'll have more on the cadets and their progress on our website, cbsnews.com. Every year, nearly 400,000 high school students drop out, putting their futures in jeopardy. Some are getting second chances in a program run by the National Guard at academies all over the country. Michelle Miller has been following a group near Los Angeles, and tonight they reach a major milestone.
And it won't be long. And it won't be long. Tell you all, get on home. And tell you all, get on home.
It's day 61 at Sunburst Youth Challenge Academy. And for the girls of Panther Platoon and the other cadets here, it will be a day like no other.
The outside world is coming into our house today.
Think about how hard you have come and how far you have worked.
Each and every one of you deserves a chance at life. Each and every one of you deserves an education.
Today is going to be the day when people see you as we see you.
Today is Family Day, the first time these cadets will see their families in 10 weeks.
Oh, wow. My heart's going 1,000 miles per hour. I'm so excited.
In July, these parents dropped off rebellious, disrespectful high school dropouts who lost their way. But today, these teens get to show just how much they've changed. Krista Hopkins' father, Chris, beamed with pride.
What do you see?
I can see a young woman now.
Before, what did you see?
Confused kid.
First, each platoon performed. Then,
Platoon sergeants take charge of platoons. Send them out to the families.
the surge of reunions. NGYCP Stewart found her mother. So did Francisco Lazo. Edward Tucker's embrace of his grandmother came with soft words.
I'm so proud of you. I love you. Just keep up the good work.
But still could not relieve the pain of absence.
Is there anyone here you wish had been here?
Yeah, my mother. I really love her to death. And I hope for the best wherever she's at. To be honest, I want her to be here. I know she'll be proud of me.
The next 4 hours would be filled with tears, encouragement,
Oh my goodness.
and bonding.
I've raised Kai by myself for the last 17 years. We were best friends in the beginning, and somehow along the way I lost her. And now she's back. She's this beautiful woman standing here, and I knew this was who she was the whole time, and now she can see it.
What does that mean? This is a rank for student council.
Oh, the one thing that we're most proud of is that we were able to make tears fall from our families' eyes that were joyful, and because they were proud of us.
But the cadets would soon have to fall back in line.
Everything from the outside must go.
Platoon! Attention! Open!
And for now, leave their families behind.
Used to hang out at the mall. Now I'm marching with all y'all. And it won't be long. Get on back home.
A very emotional day, but they still have 3 months to go with some big challenges ahead. When the program started, there were 216 cadets. 6 have dropped out. And in our next segment, Scott will introduce you to the sergeants who work incredibly hard to help keep these kids on track.
Thanks. You can follow the progress of the cadets at cbsnews.com. This summer, we have been following the progress of high school dropouts getting a second chance through an intensive program run by the National Guard. Tonight, Michelle Miller tells us more about the sergeants who try to motivate the cadets at the academy near Los Angeles and what motivates the sergeants.
Give me one solid one. You know what I'm talking about. There you go. That's the kind of effort I'm talking about.
Just remember why we're here. To intervene in reclaiming these 16 to 18-year-old high school dropout lives.
Why are you just standing around?
We want to push discipline and structure from day one.
Down! Up! One first sergeant!
Even though you're going to be harsh, even though you're going to be intense, you're always going to be appropriate.
Everything we do is for a reason.
You're always going to keep in mind as if they were your own children.
Attention!
First Sergeant Michael Scott is the Sunburst Commandant. He's in charge of the cadre, the 28 sergeants who've made it their life's mission to turn these at-risk students' lives around.
People often say, oh, you work with bad kids. And I immediately say, no, I work with kids who need a second chance, kids who have potential but have not yet unlocked that potential.
I'm trying to set you up for success.
47-year-old Sergeant Timothy Edwards spent a year in Iraq before coming to Sunburst. He's a no-nonsense, hard-nosed Army vet.
Panthers!
He lost his mother when he was a child and understands what these young rebels need.
We are not here to be mean, but you will listen to me and my cadre. Do you understand?
Everybody makes mistakes. There's not a perfect human being on the planet. But when you make a mistake, you look in the mirror and you own it.
You tell me why you don't have your socks on.
That's what he's tried to teach Marissa Stowe. He knew she was going to be a challenge from day one.
Your socks were stuck, so everybody's gonna pay. Jumping jacks, go!
Cadet Stowe showed up to the academy, and she stands in this way that Basically, I don't care, I don't give a damn, this and that.
You better work hard for me, you understand?
Yes,
Did we not have a conversation when you first came here?
He talked to me so many times to get me to like pay attention. He motivates me, really.
I have a saying, all you got to do is what?
All you got to do is what?
Breathe, Sergeant, breathe!
That's it.
All you got to do is breathe. I'm gonna control everything within your environment until you get on track.
Sometimes the first step is scary.
34-year-old platoon sergeant Peter Gutierrez came to Sunburst after a tragedy in his own family.
5 years ago, I lost my brother to violence in the streets. When that moment happened, I knew I had to change other people's lives.
I see a lot of myself within these kids.
Next candidate, what's your last name?
We let them know that, we can't change the world, outside of these walls, but we can change what goes on with you.
Hey, go back and take that cover off and put it on properly. Hurry up.
We're portrayed as the hardcore, screaming military sergeant, Look, tears will come. I have cried.
Hip hop, lollipop, let me hear my pictures rock.
You get to know these kids on a personal level, and we truly care about their success.
Let me hear you 3 more times. Hold the line. All right, let's go.
And while working at Sunburst is their full-time job, 74% of the sergeants are active duty and can be called up to go to places like Afghanistan at any moment. There is 1 month to go in this program, Scott, so our next story will focus on how these dropouts go from F's and D's to A's and B's.
Amazing series, Michelle. Thank you very much. Since the summer, we've been following the progress of high school dropouts who are getting a second chance through a program run by the National Guard. They attend an academy near Los Angeles, and as Michelle Miller shows us, the transformation of these young lives has been remarkable.
When we first met Angel Kayla Master in July, she was a scrawny, undisciplined high school dropout looking to escape a tough past.
Me and my mom were homeless pretty much, sleeping in cars, underneath freeways, in hotels.
But look at her now. She's a leader of her platoon.
Excellence in citizenship, Cadet LeMaster.
I needed to know that I could push myself.
And what have you been rewarded with as a result of pushing yourself?
I have been rewarded with pride. I'm so proud of myself for what I've accomplished.
Look your left and look your right. Look your left and look your right.
The rigid military-style structure these cadets receive is just one part of this program.
You're learning new things here at Sunburst.
But Sunburst is a fully accredited high school.
I'm a 4.0 GPA, straight A student.
The cadets attend classes 8 hours a day, have mandatory study sessions, and access to tutors. The one big difference here, they don't have to worry about basic needs.
Am I being fed? They're being fed here. Are they being clothed? They're being clothed here. Do they have to attend school? They have to attend school.
Karen Hudgens is the principal.
Instead of thinking about themselves as can't do, they start thinking about can do. And it's amazing what kids can do when they have this sense of competence. And I think that's what the program, both the military and the schoolhouse side, does for these kids.
Cadet Mellon.
At a recent report card day, the parents of these high school dropouts who were used to seeing D's and F's were overwhelmed by the sight of A's and B's.
That's outstanding.
He's a wonderful student, wonderful student.
When do you start to see the transformation?
Almost immediately.
Sergeant Rochelle Sanza is a counselor to these troubled teens. She says these last few weeks are when doubt seeps in.
A lot of these kids have never accomplished anything in their lives. A victory to them is scary because they don't know what it feels like and how it should feel like. So they're fighting it because they don't want to go back to that environment where they were once at. Letting go is really hard for a lot of them.
I'm pretty scared to leave.
Cadet Adjuke Stewart finds it hard not to doubt herself.
I don't have that I can do it mentality. When someone's told you something for so long, it's pretty hard to try and break the chain. So I have to take it day by day.
It's truly been a physically and mentally taxing experience for these cadets, but they've come quite a long way. Graduation from Sunburst ChalleNGe Academy is the goal, and Scott, that will be our final segment later this week.
Amazing series, Michelle. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott.
For nearly 6 months, we have followed a group of high school dropouts who got a second chance through a program run by the National Guard in Los Angeles. They have endured academic, mental, and physical challenges. Tonight, we end our series with their new beginning. Here's Michelle Miller.
Let's go! Get up! Get up! Hurry up! Get up out of your bus!
This was the first day at ChalleNGe Academy back in July.
You better hurry up! Let's go!
These rebellious, unfocused dropouts got a wake-up call like none they'd ever had.
Today is gonna be a long day. I told you it was coming.
Over the past 153 days, they've been torn down by discipline and built back up with praise.
Good job. I'm proud of you, kiddo. Good job.
We have followed all 8 of these cadets through the academy. We saw Francisco Lazo and his mother's emotional goodbye on intake day.
Oh, it breaks my heart, but it's for the best.
We saw Marissa Stowe go from lagging behind to one of the top in her class.
This is my mom.
And during a home visit with Krista Hopkins, we discovered the source of her pain.
I don't want to end up like my mom.
How many of you expected you'd be changed people?
I just saw it as, hey, you know what? My parents screwed me over. They didn't raise me right. But it was totally my fault. I treated people like crap. Like, I didn't think I'd come in here being changed. I didn't think that I needed to.
We didn't know exactly what we were getting ourselves into, and I think that all of us got so much more out of it than expected.
I'm gonna miss you too. Oh my.
As the cadets shared hugs and tears while lining up for graduation, in the stands, anxious parents were emotional too. NGYCP Stewart's mother, Samantha.
If there was something you could say to her right now, what would you say to her?
That I will always be there for her no matter what. That my life didn't begin until she came into this world.
Time to graduate, move forward, and go do great things.
Every day is so wonderful. Suddenly, it's hard to breathe.
Cadet Angel Lemaster. Cadet NGYCP Stewart. Cadet Marissa Stowe.
Words can't bring me down.
Cadet Caesar Jeremy. Cadet Tucker Edward.
Edward Tucker's mother, who's been in and out of his life since he was 3, wasn't there for Family Day, but she did make it to graduation. Along with the grandmother who raised him.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
Don't you bring me down today.
Sergeant Timothy Edwards and all the sergeants who used tough love to help turn these lives around said their goodbyes too, with one final salute. As a testament to the Sunburst motto, dream, believe, achieve.
Success is out there waiting for you, all right?
And one last word of motivation.
The mission starts after graduation. That's when it starts, after graduation.
It has been remarkable to see the transformation of these teens, but JB, it is not over yet. For the next 12 months, each student has a mentor to help guide them on their new journey.
Michelle, a big thank you, and you can see the entire series, Second Chances, at our website, cbsnews.com. And you know what? A big welcome from us and congratulations.
Come out a different person. I mean, he's a great kid. He just needs help.
It was really tough. It's hard to say goodbye. I didn't really see it as a sad goodbye. I saw it more as a good goodbye. Like, there were tears of joy.
Next candidate, what's your last name?
They are split up into platoons, 2 male, 2 female.
All you got to do is what?
Breathe, Sergeant, breathe!
That's it. All you got to do is breathe. We are going to think for you.
For the next 5.5 months, they will be told when to eat, sleep, and go to school. No access to social media, television, or contact with the outside world.
We will make you faster.
Let's go, pick those knees.
Freeways in hotels. I was always on my own, couch hopping my entire teenage life. It caused me to drop out.
I feel like the day I turned 13, I decided to become a careless teenager, and the day I turned 14, I became a delinquent. I got into 7 fights my freshman year and then 3 fights my sophomore year, and I was like on the thin line of being arrested and expelled at the same time.
Let's go! Jump up!
When someone tells you something so many times, you start to believe it. They always say that, like, sticks and stones don't break your bones, but words will never hurt you. It's so not true. Words hurt more than anything, especially by someone you love.
I want to make my dad proud. He hasn't been in my life. It sounds backwards, but I want to make him proud of the young lady he never took the time to learn.
All right, this is your paper, so you need to be responsible for it. Mom doesn't hold it anymore, okay?
Their last chance at a second chance began in July, dropped off by parents or guardians, sometimes a friend or neighbor. Each of them has volunteered to be here. Saying goodbye wasn't easy for 16-year-old Francisco Lazo's mother, Cynthia.
Oh, it breaks my heart, but it's for the best. I'm sure he'll.
The National Guard has a mission most folks don't know about, giving high school dropouts second chances. 80% of those who attend the Guard's Youth Challenge Academies go on to college or a job. Michelle Miller checked out an academy near Los Angeles.
Let's go! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Hurry up! Get up out of your butt! Let's go! Get up! Get up!
This 4 a.m. wake-up call is like none these teenagers have ever heard.
Why are you just standing around?
It's called Shark Attack.
You better hurry up! Let's go!
Stop moving around!
Toe in the line! Toe in the line!
Day one for these 16 to 18-year-old high school dropouts.
Today is going to be a long day.
It's designed to set the tone, establish structure,
Keep pushing, explode all that anger out of you right now, cadets.
and let these rebellious teens know who's in charge.
You don't listen to authority. That's why you're here.
Jumping jacks, go!
Angel Kayla Master, Jeremy Caesar, Krista Hopkins, NGYCP Stewart, and 212 other students in this class have abused drugs, joined gangs, and are desperate for help. If you listen to their stories, you may understand why.
Make it happen!
Me and my mom were homeless pretty much, sleeping in cars, underneath